Hey, welcome to Adventures with Peps. Today we are painting a Texas City ex-Mongoose publishing judge figure. Texas City was one of the successor megacities in North America and was one of the largest in the region, if not the world. Right, let's kick things off with Crusader Skin by the Army Painter. As always, it's a speed paint. One coat does the trick. And we are just going to pick out his face. There's not a lot of flesh on this model, which is always nice. Makes it very simple for painting. But yeah, I'm making sure that I apply most of the wash into the darker recesses, to the point where his skin meets his hat, where it meets his uniform, his nose, the cheeks, the mouth. I was quite surprised how much his face looked like a Judge Dredd face. I'm wondering if the Mongoose people cut corners and just used a Judge Dredd model, changed it up a little, gave him a cowboy hat and sunglasses. I'd love to know your thoughts. So up next is the Cloudburst Blue. I've been testing out some different blues on my judge models, and I think this one does it best. Now there's the controversy of, are the judges dressed in black? Are they dressed in blue? Everybody has a preference. Mine, I don't actually care. But I think I prefer the blue. It makes me think police rather than black. Actually, when it comes to my models, I think the SJS judges will always be painted in black. And then your normal street judges and everyone else will be blue. This will help make the SJS stand out a bit more, look a bit more unique on a tabletop next to other judges, and it will just add a little pop of contrast. I think the real issue was that for a long time black was a hard color to show in comics, so blue was used, and then later on when technology improved they did start using black for the judges, and this just threw everyone off completely. But look at how this paint is going on. It is just grabbing in those recesses for dear life and adding so much color. Here it got really fiddly because our judge, he has a zipper going down the middle of his body, plus he has his shoulder pad, plus he has his badge. There's so much details that I have to work around. So yeah, I'm going to try my best to avoid any areas that I'm going to want to paint green or yellow later, because this is a very dark blue. But at the same time, if you make mistakes, it's not the end of the world. We have white paint. It exists for a reason, and that reason for me is to fix my mistakes. Once I've managed to block in the colors, I go over a few areas a second time, just because I realized it was looking a little light, especially around the badge, so I had to just double down on that. But as you can now see, look at that color. It's a lovely dark blue. I think you could use like a black wash to bring it down even darker if you wanted. Might do that on the actual Mega City judges, but for this Texas judge, I like it. Now, Sand Golem is going to be for his cowboy hat. Originally, as I cut out, I tried to avoid painting his star and the little ridge. I'm sorry for the blurry camera work here, but it was way too fiddly, so for that I decided I'm just going to cover it for now. I'll let it dry and then I'll repair it later with some white paint. But I think these colors are starting to really show what I'm going for. I feel like the hat, I might go back at a later date and give it a dry brush of like a bone color just to really lighten it up. And then I move on to my metallics. I hate using metallic paint, so I'm using the Gravelord Grey. I use them on his sunglasses and also on the gun. I just don't like how metallic paints look. They're not good in my opinion. The weird shiny flecks that you get in them don't make me feel happy, so I'm sticking to a very much a comic book look, and I think this Gravelord Grey will give me that effect. I annoyingly get a bit of Gravelord onto his face, which really annoyed me. But I was lucky enough that I got some water on my brush, and because I made sure the flesh tone had completely dried, I was just able to use a bit of water and wash it straight off. Didn't affect the face paint. And look at that, no issues. Then I go back to my Gravelord, hit up the gun, give it a nice strong hit of this. I want the recesses to look really dark. I want it to pop. I am a bit confused, though, if you're a 2000 AD fan and a Judge Dredd fan. Do Texas judges traditionally have the same lawgivers as Mega City? I know the city-states are allies, but I do find it strange that they would share technology. I would have thought the Texas City would have their own version of a lawgiver, kind of like how Britzit does. They don't use a lawgiver like Judge Dredd's, they have their own type. But this Texas City judge, he's got the exact same gun as everyone else, which will make using him in games super easy, because he'll just play as a normal street judge in the Warlord games. He'll just look different to everyone else. You can have him on a cultural exchange program. Now we move on to what is becoming one of my favorite color paints, Orc Skin. This green is ridiculous. It's bright, it's bold, goes on lovely. You cannot see it because my fat hand is in the way. See if I can fix this view. And yeah, look at it going on. This is proper comic book green. I'm not sure I would use it as an orc flesh, because it's just too bold and too bright, especially over white. Just look at it, it just like pops. I'm thinking of using this green in some Space Marine projects later. I think this could work for salamanders. Maybe the raptors as well. Not the raptors, the mantis warriors, there we go. But look at it going on, it just goes on lovely. Slides into the recesses, great, makes them look really dark. And with this green, I'm going to pick out his belt, as you can see. His boots, his knee pads, his gloves, elbow pads. Basically, the areas that protect him from gunfire. And hopefully we will come back in a minute and you'll see something that almost looks like a finished model. And with the finishing touches, we are done with the green. Just look at how that pops. It's ridiculously good. Really stands out from the dark blue of his bodysuit. And it just looks like pure comic book. Looks like I've just opened up the pages of 2000 AD. So this is the one paint that I don't have an army paint for, and that is white. And I'm just going to clean up some parts of the model that, as I mentioned earlier, I got the washers on, or I just felt too lazy to try and avoid. Mostly the star, his headband, there's a little bit of the his shoulder pads that I want to cover up before I put yellow on everything. And then we hop into the Zealot yellow. This is going to be his stars on his hat and on the belt. Going to be the zipper, going to be his name shield, shoulder pad, and the eagle. I definitely need to read more about Texas City. I've definitely seen him in the comics when Dredd has visited there, but I don't know a huge amount about Texas City. Like, I understand they're allies of Mega City 1. I think technically their name originally was Mega City 3, but they seem to share a lot in common. Like, they have the shoulder eagle, they should have the same lawgivers. Like, are they actual allies, or are they technically all the same? But then I know in storylines when there's been the Apocalypse War, for example. Texas City sat back. They just let Mega City get invaded. They didn't help. I'm very confused, but look at that. We've pretty much got a finished model. This took, I think this took 20 minutes in total. So this video times 2 roughly, how long it took me to paint. And that was with me fiddling around with the camera and messing about and effing things up. So you can get great results with these army painters. For me, they've definitely opened up my ability to paint quicker. They're allowing me to actually get through some of my backlog. I can guarantee you there's a lot of figures that I will have to revisit to do highlights and stuff. But man, do I enjoy painting with them. It's so easy. It's just dip your brush, slap it on, and there you go. A 20-minute Texas City judge facing off against his Luxor counterpart. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers for watching.